This means you should not stop. Some people will come here and then they will stop, but it will not be okay. Number 3, speakers will have an additional 20 seconds to finish their sentence in case they are caught by the time. If you have started to say something, you will be given 20 seconds to finish up very fast within that time. But then you are not allowed to introduce another point after the bell has been rung. Number 4, anyone speaking for longer than 5 minutes will incur a time penalty. If you go beyond our time, some people don't want them to be stopped. They talk as if the Holy Spirit has entered them. It will not be here. It will be only in the church. Are we together? Number 5, no interjection or point of information, POI, to be raised for the team captain. Yes, we will not be raising point of information or interjection for the first main speakers. The captains are going to talk free. All right. Number 6, not more than 2 interjections, POI, will be accepted from the same person. If you are raising point of information, you cannot be raising it for more than 2 times. Point of information. Point of information. Point will not be allowed. Will not be accepted. No. And on this, yes.
It means that, for instance, if a point of information can be accepted for one person, when it's not the one that is accepted. If you accept for the first time and the second time, that time, it can be from the same person.
All right. Point of information can't be accepted 3 times from the same person. However, point of information must go through the moderator to the speaker. I am the only one who is going to give that opportunity for the speaker to either accept it or not. And again, the speaker, you cannot refuse it more than 2 times. The 3rd time you will have to accept it. And then you are informed when you are going to respond to the point of information or another point of anything valid. The time will be stopped as you express yourself. So don't hurry up that you want to finish that time. All right? Yes. As well as you are taking your proof or evidence to the judges, your time is catered for. It will be stopped. As you reach there, you give. But don't go again slowly, because your time is there. Go fast enough in okay way, and then you give it. Number, I don't know his number 8, around there. POI can only be asked if the speaker accepts, but for the 3rd time will be allowed. I've talked about that. If a speaker declines to take a point of information, POI, the opposing team member must sit down and wait for another 10 seconds for an opportunity to be interjected. I think this point is, when one person has raised, you will not wait immediately and then you raise. You wait first for 10 seconds and then you can raise. You wait for the opportunity after 10 seconds. Heckling or sarcastic remarks are out of place and will be penalized by the adjudicators. There's a situation whereby if someone is raising a point of information, some voices will be coming down. Will not be allowed. If you will be doing it, you will get a penalty for it. You will go with a punishment. You may not know that they will be beating you, but technically, you'll be beaten. Are we there? The judges knows it very well. Teachers and members of the audience are also asked to show utmost respect when a student is delivering a speech, attempting a quiz question, or spelling words. Everyone must pay attention and be silent during the course of our debates. You must pay attention and hear. Number second last, personalized individual remarks are not tolerated, and both teams are asked to refrain from using offensive language when challenging an argument. Don't use vulgar language. Some people, they know vulgar language very well. If they tell you, you will think about your grandmother who died long time. So it's not allowed here. If you have any, you will go back home wherever you come from, then you will say your abusive language. But here in the house, it's not allowed. Whether stupid, idiot, what, keep it for yourself. Clear? Lastly, offensive or hurtful speech is not tolerated by this program and goes against the ethos of the competition. I think those who are behind this program will not see it well, or will say something. If in case it happens, they will take the charge. I think I will give this. All right, it is time for us to listen from our honorables. There are three from Juba Diplomatic, there are also three from St. Paul. And the captain, or the first main speaker, allow me to find out, is it Abiba? You are the first main speaker? All right, wait, I'm just trying to find out. And then the second one is Christine. All right, then the third one is Ellen. All right, then from St. Paul, the first main speaker is Honorable Santino. Santino, you are there. Please, let's sit in that order. Abiba, sit here. Honorable Deng, you are the one. Thank you. And then Riel. All right. Sorry if I call your name in the wrong way. Don't penalize me for it. I don't have anything behind it. At this point of time, allow me to give this time to the first main speaker from Juba Diplomatic to take the stage, and that is Honorable Abiba Mo. Honorable, you're welcome.
Maximum greetings to the Honorable Moderator, Secretary, the Time Manager, the table of the distinguished judges, opposers, proposers, and not forgetting you, my dear and beloved audience, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Habiba Mwijakob, a pupil from Juba Diplomatic in Primary 8, coming here to propose a motion that says boys and girls should be equal. Here I have been accompanied by a team of diplomats who we have Helena Kate, who will be talking about quick development, promotion of peace, promotion of self-respect for others. Also, Christine Yanter, who will also be talking about protection in human values and dignity, increment in literacy rate, and disciplining of children. To define this motion, a boy is a male, and is a proposition. Girl is a female. Should means must. Equal means even, balancing. But in a much better way to say it, just to say boys and girls should be equal, this is just promoting gender equality. To go to my points, I'll be talking about empowerment. Normally, if we give the same rights to both boys and girls to go to school, of course they're going to be empowered in future. And we even have examples of our leaders that we have. For example, we have Nunu Kumba, we have Awud Deng, who is the minister, and here I want to give my evidence about it. For example, we have Madam Jeman Nunu Kumba, who studied and student she attended secondary school from 1983 to 1986 in Juba. Learning about this, if we're empowered, we're going to become great leaders in future, of course. And let me say about gender equality in this room. We have even our teachers here, the moderator. Of course, you went to school and now you're empowered. You've become a moderator. Of course, you're not going to do something good, of course, in future. Also, not only forgetting, We have also our head teacher and also other people. But sorry to say about this, there is no gender equality in this debate thing. Because here are all boys, here are all girls. We're supposed to mix and actually be having gender equality. That is why I said that boys and girls should be equal. To the honorable chairperson, via the diplomatic judges, and back to the audience. To keep the ball rolling, I'll be talking about promotion of hygiene and sanitation. Hygiene is the cleanliness of ourselves, while sanitation is the cleanliness of our environment. If we promote gender equality, both boys and girls can maintain hygiene and sanitation. But if there's discrimination, you'll be like, let me say, most of the cultures will say that boys cannot do this, girls cannot do this, but boys can do this and girls cannot do this. We are supposed to stop such kind of things. If both of us are able to maintain this, of course there's going to be peace. That's why I'm saying that boys and girls should be equal. Like in families, imagine a father says that a boy cannot wash, a boy cannot cook utensils. But, example, maybe girls are able to do this and boys cannot do it. But, in a different way. If all of them are able to do it, of course they're going to maintain hygiene and sanitation. Most of us are going for scholarships in the end. Imagine living alone and you don't know how to do anything because you are not allowed to do anything and you are told that only a girl can do this or only a boy can do this. That is why I said that boys and girls should be equal. Through the honorable chairperson, by the diplomatic judges, and back to the audience. Lastly, I'll be talking about basic knowledge of first aid. First aid is the first help given to a person maybe who is injured or had an accident. And then, if you know about the basic knowledge of first aid, of course you'll be able to help someone. But just imagine if you don't know, you are not even given the right training. Of course, how are you going to help someone? Because of course there will come a time where you need it and you need to help somebody, but then you don't know anything. And what are you supposed to do? That's why I say that boys and girls should be equal. Because if both of them know the training, they are given the right training and told what to do, how to help someone, if someone is hurt or not, of course, you'll be able to help the person. That is why I say that boys and girls should be equal. Through the honorable chairperson, by the diplomatic judges, and back to the audience. Here's my evidence talking about this. Why I actually support about this. To get more, go to the website of United States America, where you're going to get more about it. And I'm very sorry to return you guys back to what I said about promotion of hygiene and sanitation. Actually, I don't have the right evidence about it, but I do have some evidence. All of you guys, don't your teachers tell us that we are supposed to maintain hygiene, we are supposed to maintain sanitation, making our schools clean? That's my evidence. And to summarize, I talked about empowerment, I talked about promotion of hygiene and sanitation on how both boys and girls are able to maintain hygiene and sanitation. I talked about basic knowledge of first aid because when both boys and girls know about it and have training, of course, they're going to help the community, family, and be able to help each other. And to conclude, I still stand firm to say that boys and girls should be equal. Through the honorable chairperson, by diplomatic judges, and back to the audience. I invite my opposers, please come and join us supporting that boys and girls should be equal. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Thank you so much, Honorable Abiba. We are also going to listen from coalition sides and Powell, that we are going to hear from Honorable Santino. You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm physically fit, mathematically calculated, geographically located, and historically known. In the first place, I would like to recognize the table of Honorable Chairperson, who is the presiding officer. The secretary is the pen holder, the judges who are the body of judiciary, the timekeeper who manages our time, plus the two antagonistic campers who are debating for their rights. While not forgetting you, my dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Santino Tare from St. Paul Nasaram Primary School. I'm here to negate the resolution which states that boys and girls should be equal. I negate the resolution 100% because of my following views. Honorable moderator, may allow me to define the key terms of the resolution. Ladies and gentlemen, based on English dictionary, boys refers to young males, girls refers to young females. Shoe is an indirect speech of shall, equal. So according to English dictionary, equal refers to the state of having the same in all respect. Ladies and gentlemen, I have defined the key terms of the resolution. Once again, my name is Santino Tare, the captain from the negator side, and I am going to talk of African tradition, resources, and responsibilities. After me is going to be Dan Agostino, and he's going to talk of parents' responsibilities and manners. And after Dan Agostino is going to be real humaning, and he's going to talk of leadership, sinners, and housewives. Ladies and gentlemen, the resolution boys and girls should be equal is trying to tell us that both should have the same respect, the same responsibilities as girls. In my rebuttal, the previous speaker said that boys and girls should be equal, but let me clarify to you that boys and girls can never be equal because God never told Adam and Eve to be equal, but God told Adam to take care of Eve and all the creations. I had this point with the table of honorable moderator, where the judiciary and back to the audience. First and foremost, I would like to talk of African tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, African tradition lives with their cosmologies, acts, and societies. Ladies and gentlemen, what I mean here is that in African tradition, boys and girls are not equal because boys have different responsibilities compared to girls. For example, boys were to go for digging, hunting, and constructing houses, while girls were only to remain at home cooking and performing on other house choices. Honorable moderator, may I want me to justify my point of view? Ladies and gentlemen, here is the picture of African boys hunting, which cannot be done by girls. I had this point to the table of honorable moderator, where the judiciary and back to the audience. To continue with, I would like to talk of responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, responsibility is the state of being responsible for something. Ladies and gentlemen, what I mean here is that girls cannot manage responsibilities like paying school fees every day to family members, buying food to family members. Ladies and gentlemen, because they think that those responsibilities are for men, what they know is only to cook and perform on other house choices. Honorable moderator, as such as the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 24 says, a man shall leave his father and his mother, and be joined together with his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Honorable moderator, may allow me to justify my point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, here the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 4 that says, chapter 2, verse 24 that says, a man shall leave his father and his mother, and be joined together with his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And that is point with the table of honorable moderator, where the judiciary and back to the audience. The last but not the least, I would like to talk of resources. Ladies and gentlemen, resources are sources that give people income. Ladies and gentlemen, what I mean here is that boys and girls cannot be equal in African tradition because boys are seen as the head of family members, unlike girls who are seen as sources of income to their parents because when they are married, they don't belong to their families again. As such as the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 20 says, God commanded a man to name all types of animals, meaning that God knew a woman as a helper to a man. Honorable moderator, may allow me to justify my point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, here in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 19 says, God commanded a man to name all types of animals, meaning that God knew a woman as a helper to a man. I had this point to the table of honorable moderator, by the judiciary and back to the audience. In my summary, I have talked of the following: resources, African tradition, and responsibilities. In my conclusion, I would like to conclude by saying that in Genesis chapter 2 verse 19 says, God commanded a man to name all types of animals, meaning that God knew a woman as a helper to a man. Once again, I would like to recognize the table of honorable chairperson, who is the presiding officer, the secretary, who is the pen holder, the judges, who are the body of judiciary, the timekeeper, who manages our temper, the two antagonistic sides, who are debating for their rights. While not forgetting you, my dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I beg to raise my case and thanks.
Thank you so much, Honorable. I would like to inform the House that clapping is allowed but in an organized way. Don't be the first or don't be the last. Be in between. I would advise the way we started early, three only, and then we stop there. And then to the participants, please, St. Paul and Juba Diplomatic, you are encouraged to have a pen and then a paper where you can write your argument, a point that you want to argue about, so that it doesn't confuse you. We are going to the second speaker, and after the warning bell, you are allowed to argue on a point from this point of time. And that's, we are going to the next speaker from Juba Diplomatic, Honorable Christine. You are most welcome.
Okay. In the first place, with high honor and respect, I would like to send my general greetings to the moderator, secretary, timekeeper, opposers, proposers, guests, staffs, and why not forgetting my dear ladies and gentlemen. Standing in front of you, Christine Nyanjan from Juba Diplomatic School, a primary 8 candidate, here to propose the motion that is well stated that boys and girls should be equal. And before I dive into my points, I would like to disagree with the point that was stated by a honorable called Santino Derry. Santino Derry said that some of the responsibility, like paying school fees and also bringing money for food at home, is only for men. But to inform you, these days even female who are already educated are even having those responsibility of paying their children's school fees. Through Mr. Honorable Moderator, via the diplomatic judges, and back to the audience. To dive into my point, I would like to talk about protection of human values and dignity. In order for us to protect human values and dignity, we should promote gender equality. Both men and women are supposed to be equal, and also female and male. Boys and girls should be treated equally, because when a boy grows up, the boy will become a man, and when girls grow up, they become women. And as we all know, we were created in God's image. God created all of us equal, and if we don't treat both boys and girls equally, it means that we are disagreeing with God, and which will be as a sin in God's eyes. Through Mr. Honorable Moderator, via the diplomatic judges, and back to the shining stars of tomorrow. Not only that, but also, I would like to talk about increment in literacy rate and low rate of early marriage. What do we mean by the word literacy rate? It means the number of people who are educated. When we send both boys and girls to school, it will make the literacy rate of people who are educated to go high. And that is why I say that boys and girls should be treated equally. And even if boys and girls are not given their rights, it will make the literacy rate to go down. For example, in Juba Diplomatic School, we have 1,800 pupils. If 900 were boys and the rest of the 900 girls were told to go and stay home, it will make the literacy rate to go down. And even as the girls are staying home, they will have that opportunity to think of marriage, and which will make them to get married earlier. But if they are sent to school, both boys and girls, they won't have that time to be thinking of marriage and other bad stuff. And that is why I still stand firm to support the motion that is well stated that boys and girls should be equal. Through the Honorable Moderator, via the diplomatic judges, and back to the audience. Before I go further, I would like to give my quotation to the Honorable Chairperson, which shows that early marriage should end, and both boys and girls should be given their rights, or should be treated equally. Last but not the least, I would like to talk about disciplining children. As a guardian, elder, parent, or teacher, we should discipline both. Thank you.
Pause the stopwatch, please. If you're asking, you say point of information via the moderator. Don't say point of information via the moderator. Is that clear? Yes. And then now the moderator will allow.
Speaker, you can go on.
I am going to talk about disciplining of children, and I say that as a guardian or a parent, an elder or a teacher, we should discipline both boys and girls, because as we discipline both of them, it will make us to correct them and advise them not to do bad things. For example, if we only choose to advise or discipline only boys, girls will have the opportunity of being prostitutes, and also they might be or end up pregnant, and which is no good. And also which goes to boys, if we only advise girls and also discipline girls, it will make the boys to be going for discourse at night and also taking alcohol, and which might lead to the death of the boy, because the boy will be moving at night, and also taking alcohol, it will damage his liver or also his brain, and which is no good. Excuse Mr. Honorable Chairperson, may allow me to give my quotations. This quotation shows that all children, both boys and girls, should be disciplined. Through Mr. Honorable Moderator, via the diplomatic judges, and back to the audience. To summarize, I talked about protection in human values and dignity. And I said that in order for us to protect human values and dignity, we should promote gender equality. Not only that, but also, I talked about increment in literacy rate and low rate of early marriage. And I said that both boys and girls should be sent to school to avoid early child marriage. Last but not the least, I talked about disciplining of children. And I said that as a guardian, elder, teacher, or parent, we should discipline both boys and girls. Thank you. To conclude, I would like to call my dear opponents to come and propose the motion that is well stated that boys and girls should be equal. Through Mr. Honorable Moderator, Secretary, timekeeper, table of judges, my dear audience. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Put the mic up. Put the mic up on the podium. All right, we are not challenging you on this. We are just saying if you have a point of information, should be clearly stated that point of information via the moderator to the speaker or anywhere you want to post it. Please take note of this. We are not denying you the chance, but should be via the moderator to either the speaker or to the judge or to who, I don't know, but then must pass through the moderator. We have heard from Honorable Christine from Juba Diplomatic. We are also going as well to hear from St. Paul, the second speaker, that is none other than Honorable Deng Agostino. You are most welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to salute the table, Mr. Honorable Chairperson, who is the presiding officer, the secretary who is the pen holder, the judges who are the board of judiciary, the timekeeper manager of time plus, the two anachronistic chambers who are debating for their rights. While not forgetting you, my dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Deng Agostino from St. Paul Primary School. I'm here to negate the resolution which is stated that boys and girls should be equal. I negate the resolution 100% because of my following views. Honorable presiding officer, may I allow me to rebut some of the points the previous speaker talked on. The previous speaker talked on marriage. Yes, I agree with you, girls should be married. But for example, girls run away during the time of war. Since 2016, have you ever seen a girl fighting for a war? I think the answer is no. That is why I strongly negate the resolution by saying that boys and girls should be equal, should not be equal. Mr. Honorable Chairperson, may I allow me to go to my views. First and foremost, I want to talk about authority. So based on English dictionary, authority refers to the power of enforce. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls can share equal responsibilities because girls can protect their families. Girls can share equal responsibilities because girls can give the power to give orders. That is why you see that there is no decision that can be taken without the consent of a man. That is why you see that men are dominant over authorities even in the Bible. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 says, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, make man in our image after our likeness. Mr. Honorable Chairperson, may I allow me to justify my point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Holy Book in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 says, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, make man in our image, but after our likeness. But after our likeness, but God did not say that God should be equal. But God did not say that the authority should be equal shared, because God knew that a woman is just a helper of a man. That is why I strongly negate the resolution by saying that boys and girls should not be equal. I hand this point to the table, Mr. Honorable Chairperson, bear the judges, and back to the audience. To keep the ball rolling, I want to talk about types of labor. Labor is the power of effort expected on particular tasks or work. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many types of labor that require different genders. For example, girls can build towers and escarpers like the Equatorial Tower in Konokono. Mr. Honorable Chairperson, may I allow me to justify my point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a picture of the Equatorial Tower which was built by men by the women. Because women don't have the ability to do that. That is why I strongly negate the resolution by saying that boys and girls should not be equal. To continue with that, I would like to talk about family legacy. Legacy is the ability. Legacy refers to property, and money. Ladies and gentlemen, girls can build legacy for their parents because girls don't have the power. Because girls can build legacy for their families. Because girls, what they know is only to eat and sleep, which is not a case in this modern life. Compared to men who always make sure that their family should be in good condition by defending their country if their country is attacked. For example, Dr. John Garang Dimabur was the founder of Sudan People Liberation Movement, who fought for 21 years in order to grant South Sudan for her independence. Mr. Honorable Chairperson, may I allow me to justify my point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a picture of Dr. John Garang Dimabur, who was the founder of Sudan People Liberation Movement, who fought for 21 years in order to grant South Sudan for her independence. And that is high legacy for South Sudanese. We are so grateful for what he has done to South Sudan. We are so grateful for what he has done to South Sudan. What guys know is only to cook. Please keep quiet.
Speaker, you have point of information. Do you agree?
No.
No, for the first time.
What girls know is only to cook and produce for the fighters who are men. That is why I strongly negate the resolution by saying that boys and girls should not be equal. I hand this one to the table, Mr. Honorable Chairperson. Bear the judge and back to the audience. Allowed.
It's allowed.
Excuse me, Deng Agostino, you said that girls can't give power to give orders. Example, before I talked about Nuno Kumba, she can give order and she's a leader.
she was educated, but nowadays you can see 40 girls dropping out of school because of their boyfriends. To continue, in my summary, I have talked about the following. Authority. So based on English dictionary, authority refers to the power of enforce. Next to me, I have talked about types of labor. Labor refers to the power expected on particular task or work. Lastly, I have talked about family legacy. Legacy refers to property and money. In my conclusion, I would like to conclude by saying that God said that a woman should not compare herself with a man. And who are you to say that boys and girls should be equal? Once again, I would like to salute the table, Mr. Honorable Chairperson, who is the presiding officer, the secretary, who is the pen holder, the judges who are the board of judiciary, the timekeeper manager or time planners, the two anachronistic chambers who are debating for their rights. Why not forgetting you, my dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I beg to raise my case.
Thank you so much, Honorable. You can take your seats. I think it was a wonderful presentation from Honorable Jane. We appreciate. We are also going to hear as well from another Honorable from Juba Diplomatic, and will be the last speaker from Juba Diplomatic. In this case, I would like to welcome and call upon Honorable Ellen Akech. Honorable, you're welcome.
In the first place, I would like to recognize the presence of the moderator, secretary, timekeeper, table of the judges, opposers, proposers, and why not forgetting you, my dear audience. Standing before you is none other than Helen Akech from a well-known school, Juba Diplomatic, hereby to propose the motion that clearly states boys and girls should be equal. Mr. Moderator, may you allow me to rebuttal on the point that was spoken by Deng Agostino. He said that authority can only be given to men. But one thing that you should know, not all men are responsible. There are others who are irresponsible, and there are some ladies who are worthy to be responsible. Through the moderator, via the judges, and back to the audience. To dive into my points, I'm going to talk about quick development. In a country, for a country to develop quickly, it needs the people to balance the gender. And gender balance refers to treating both gender equally. Like, for example, if you take a girl child to school, you should do the same to a boy child because they will grow up and become important people in life. And if they grow up, there will be so many educated people in the country that if you want a job to be done, you will find so many people, and that will make the country to develop faster. Unlike if they are not treated equally, then one gender will remain behind, which is not good. So I handle the case to the moderator, via the judges, and back to the audience. Not only that, but I'm going to talk about promotion of peace. Peace is the absence of war in a state, area, or community. In order to promote peace, we need to promote gender equality. Like, for example, in some cultures, if a boy does a mistake, they just put him down and talk to him. But if it is a girl who does a mistake, they will punish the girl severely, which is not fair. If a boy is to be advised, the same should be done to a girl. Or if a girl is beaten, the same should be done to a boy. And if one gender is discriminated, they may think that they are hated, and which will not bring peace among the two genders. So I handle the case to the table of the moderator, via the judges, and back to the audience. Not only that, but I'm going to talk about promotion of self-respect and respect for others. As well known, if you respect others, you are respecting yourself, and you are making also others to respect you. Like in this room now, the moderators are respecting us, and we are also returning the favor to them by respecting them. But take an example, in some cultures, a small boy may beat a girl who's the same age mate, which is not good. Like if a girl does a mistake, they will tell the boy to beat. But if it is a boy who does the mistake, the girl who's the same age mate will not be given that authority to beat him, which is not fair. But if both genders are to be treated equally, and only an elder should punish them, that will promote self-respect. Through the moderator, via the judges, and back to the audience. In summary, I've talked about quick development, I've talked about promotion of peace, and I defined it as the absence of war in a state, community, or area. I also talked about self-respect and respect for others. By promoting respect to others, you are also promoting respect to you. So in conclusion, before I conclude, I would like to give my evidence to the table of the moderator on the point that was spoken about peace. The evidence is clear. Having more gender equality societies results in more stable and peaceful states. So in my conclusion, after the strong points that I have given and my opponents have also given, I still stand strong to propose the motion that clearly states boys and girls should be equal. Otherwise, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ellen Akech, for elaborating clearly your points. I think our judges are very keen enough to hear, and they'll talk what they are supposed to do. I would like to take this time also to call upon the last speaker, who is the Honorable from St. Paul, to come and also warm the stage. That is none other than Honorable Real Paul Bade. Honorable, you are welcome.
First place, I would like to recognize the President of the Honorable Chairperson, who is the presiding officer, the Secretary as well as critics, the judges who are the board of judiciary, the timekeeper manages our time, plus the 2 and 26 side who are debating for their right. While not forgetting you, my dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Pomodin from St. Paul Nazarene Primary School. I'm here to negate the resolution which is stated that boys and girls should be equal. I negate the resolution 100% because of my following views. Honorable Presiding Officer, before I go any further, may I allow me to report the point that were presented by the previous speaker? The previous speaker talked of peace. Ladies and gentlemen, to be sincere with you, there will be no peace in this country when boys and girls are equal because girls will grow hands with their men. When they see that they are joking and have money, they will be at their husband as wives, and they will know that they are rich and do whatever they wish. And with this, there will be no peace in the house. And that is why I strongly negate the resolution. I hand this point to the table of Mr. Honorable Chairperson, where the judges and back to the audience. The previous speaker also talked of respect. But let me clarify to you that girls of nowadays, they don't have respect. Even if they see a very big boy, they just want to run after them. But when they are kid, they try that they want to fight. Is this one respect? And that is why I strongly negate the resolution. I hand this point to the table of Mr. Honorable Chairperson, where the judges and back to the audience. The previous speaker also talked of training. But let me clarify to you that. Do you expect boys to be trained like the way girls are trained? Do you want boys to be cooking every day? Boys are trained to do betterment. Do you know that girls are to cook and to produce for the fighters? And that is why I strongly negate the resolution by saying that boys and girls should be equal. I hand this point to the table of Mr. Honorable Chairperson, where the judges and back to the audience. First and foremost, I would like to talk of leadership. Leadership is the capacity of someone to lead others based on English dictionary. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that boys and girls cannot be equal because girls have poor leadership skills. They don't have abilities and skills of leading. When you see the meeting whether in public, society, or government, just know that a lot of things are going to be messed up. Even in the Bible, we have never read about women who were leaders. Even Jesus himself chose 12 men to be disciples because he knew that girls or women were not good enough to walk the journey with him. That is why girls and boys should not be equal because there are a lot of things which are done by men which cannot be done by women. When you look at all the kings of Israel, starting from Saul, David, and Solomon, were all men. Many women cannot make good leadership. And that is why I still want to get the resolution. For example, the book of Chronicles chapter 2 Chronicles chapter 29 verse 25 talks about the coronation of Solomon, the son of David king, the second, and anointed him before God to be a leader. However, we all know that King Solomon was the king who built the temple to God, which was not built by a woman. And that is why I strongly negate the resolution. I hand this point to the table of Mr. Honorable Chairperson, where the judges and back to the audience. To keep the ball rolling, I will let you talk of sinners. Sinners are righteousness in the eyes of God. Ladies and gentlemen, biblically, thanks for your warning. Biblically, the cause of the sin in the Bible was a woman called Eve, who was deceived by the serpent to eat the
Honorable Speaker, you have point of information. Do you allow it?
Disallowed.
Disallowed.
Who was deceived by the serpent to
You
eat the
say,
forbidden fruit?
Honorable Speaker, you say disallowed?
Disallowed.
Disallowed?
Disallowed.
Oh, disallowed. Thank you.
Who was
Sorry.
deceived by the serpent to eat the forbidden fruit? That leads to pain and suffering we all go through. Ladies and gentlemen, how do we expect boys and girls to be equal when we all know that sin is started from a woman called Eve? I think it is not impossible if boys and girls are
Honorable
going to be
Speaker, you have a point of information for the second time.
disallowed. I think it is not impossible if boys and girls are going to be equal in decision making and responsibilities. You will see girls who manipulate the minds of boys in order to be taking wrong decisions. For example, after when Eve accepted the forbidden fruit, she took it to Adam, where he was deceived that it was a fruit of wisdom and knowledge.
Mr. Honorable Speaker, you have a point
Hello.
of information. All right.
We talked about leadership and we said that women cannot be leaders. What of Nunu Kumba? Isn't she a leader? She's a woman?
No. She's not a leader. Do you know that Jama Nunu is a corrupt leader? Do you know from that? You think that she's having peace? And that is why I saw when they get the resolution. For example, in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse. For example, in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 3 to 7, where the serpent deceived the woman and she wanted to deceive her husband, that made him to take wrong decision. And that is why I strongly negate the resolution by saying that girls and boys should not be equal. I had this point to the table of Mr. Honorable Chairperson, where the judges and back to the audience. Last but not least, I would like to talk of helper to man. And helper is someone who gives help to another person. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that girls are helpers to man because they know they don't put about authority. I said they only have to help their parents or husband in whatever thing they are told to do. For example, in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 21 to 23, where it says, Lord God caused a damp sleep to fall of Adam, and he slept. And God took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. That is why Adam said, this is now the bones of my bones, the flesh of my flesh, because she was taken out of me. And that is why I saw when I get the resolution. Honor presiding officer, Madam, show my evidence to the judges. Ladies and gentlemen, here in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 21 to 23, which says, Lord God caused a damp sleep to fall of Adam, and he closed up the flesh in its place, because she was taken out of me. And that is why I strongly negate the resolution. I hand this point to the table of Mr. Honorable Chairperson, by the judges, and back to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that it is not written anywhere in the Bible that women should be equal to men. But it is written in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 24 that now as the church submit to Christ, so let also men, wives submit in everything to their husband. And that is why I strongly negate the resolution. In summary, I have talked of the following. Helper is someone who gives help to another person. Leader is the capacity of someone to lead others. Sinners and righteousness in the eyes of God. Once again, I would like to salute the table of Mr. Honorable Chairperson, who is the presiding officer, the secretary, who is the pen holder, the judges who are the body judiciary. In conclusion, I would like to conclude by saying that I will never stop negating this resolution because guys are the most corrupt people in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I beg to end my case.
Wow. Let's give them a hand clap. 1, 2, 3, we go. But it's not enough. I think we should do this in form of rain. We are going to do this in form of rain. Whenever you are in a referendum, you may hear rain coming from all the way from Konyo Konyo. So when it is there in Konyo Konyo, it will be like this. Are we together? When it is custom, it doubles. You will hear this. When it will come up to 7 days, you will hear this. Guava, you will hear this. But when it is here in a referendum, you will hear this. Are we together? With my directive, let's go. Konyo Konyo. Please, Konyo Konyo. Make it harder. Konyo Konyo. Let's go to custom. Custom. 7 days. 7 days. Guava. I referendum. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the participants from Juba Diplomatic and St. Paul. I think you can now go there, you pick your evidence, you can come back with them. Yes? You can go there and pick your evidence that you have given to the judges so that you can clear the table of the judge. You can do it fast so that we come for the summary. As I told you before, the summary is coming immediately after that. To start with, we shall have the summary from Juba Diplomatic. Then we shall have the summary from St. Paul. After that, we shall also have from our debate secretary. And we shall open the music and dance as the judges are going to work on this. Let me have person who is coming to summarize from Juba Diplomatic. You're welcome.
The last salutation, maximum greetings to the Honorable Moderator, Secretary, Timekeeper, Table of Distinguished Judges, opposers, proposers, guests, staff, and not forgetting you, ladies and gentlemen. Hereby, I am the captain of the proposer side, and I came and talked about empowerment. Empowerment about how if both boys and girls are empowered, they're going to become leaders. Hold on a minute. I also talked about promotion of hygiene and sanitation, because if both boys and girls are able, if both boys and girls are able to know about it, they are going to, of course, maintain hygiene and sanitation. I also talked about basic knowledge of first aid. If both boys and girls know it, of course, they're going to be able to promote or be able to have the knowledge of first aid. My dear speaker here came and talked about quick development, which exactly, if both boys and girls know it, and they are, of course, empowered, of course, there's going to be development. Also, she talked about promotion of peace. Peace, of course, means when people are able to interact with each other and there is no conflict. If both boys and girls can do that, this is going to promote peace. She also talked about promotion of self-respect for others, where both boys and girls are able to interact with each other and still be able to respect one another. Christine also came and talked about protection in human values and dignity, because both boys and girls are able to interact, they can even be able to respect and have human values. Also, she talked about increment in literacy rate, because if both boys and girls are able to go to school, of course, the literacy rate will be able to be high. And lastly, she talked about disciplining of children, where both boys and girls are able to be disciplined and still be equal. Excuse me, before I go, Mr. Moderator, I would like to disagree with some points that...
He's allowed.
Yeah, it's allowed.
All right.
Yeah. The last speaker here went and talked about political skills, and you also say something about the Bible, whoever is not a leader. We have Esther in the Bible, she was a queen. And also something about here in South Sudan, we have even Rebecca Nyandeng, who is a vice president, Nunukumba, who is also a leader. Sorry that you also disagree that Nunukumba is not a leader. A leader is someone who leads people. Nunukumba is a leader. Plus also, someone here also said that men built the Equatorial Tower. Actually, by that time, there was no gender equality. But right now, if there's gender equality, by now they would have done it. And before I want to like to conclude that I say that I still stand firm to say that boys and girls should be equal. To conclude, I would like to say thank you, Mr. Moderator, Secretary, Time Manager, the adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Thank you so much. I would like also to give time to the side of St. Paul for the person who is coming to give us a summary. Mister, you're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to recognize the table of honorable chairperson who is the presiding officer, the secretary who is the pen holder, the judges who are the body of judiciary, the timekeeper who manages our time, plus the two antagonistic champions who are debating for their rights. While not forgetting you, my dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to give the last summary of our points. We have talked of the following points. African tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, African tradition deals with their cosmologies, acts, and societies based on Google. And we have also talked of resources. Ladies and gentlemen, resources are sources that give people incomes. And we have also talked of responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, responsibility is the state of being responsible for something. And we also talk of authorities. Ladies and gentlemen, authorities refers to the power or right to give comments. And we also talk of families' legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, legacy are properties or money. And we also talk of leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, leadership is the state of leading people. And we also talk of sinners. Ladies and gentlemen, sinners and righteousness, people in the eyes of God. And we also talk of helpers to a man. Ladies and gentlemen, helpers to a man refers to a person who gives help to others. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Moderator, before I go any further, may you allow me to rebut some of the views that were spoken by the previous speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, the previous speaker talked of development. But let me clarify to that. When both girls and boys are equal, there will never be development because a woman will have her own money and a man will have her own money. And a woman even will not think of developing. She will just think that she will go and spend money with her friends in other places. She will not even think of developing the country. I hand this one to the table of Honorable Moderator, while the judiciary and back to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, the previous speaker also rebutted one of our points that boys and girls, that not only boys can manage responsibility, but even also girls. I agree with you, but not 100%, because because most of girls, they can't pay school fees of their families, but only man. Do you know why? Because girls think that the money that they will go and waste to pay for the school fees of the children, that they will spend or buy makeups and those things, pink lips and many others. And I just want to the table of honorable moderator for the judiciary and back to the audience. Once again, I would like to recognize the table of honorable chairperson, who is the presiding officer, the secretary, who is the pen holder, the judges who are the body of judiciary, the timekeeper who manages our time, the two antagonistic chambers who are debating for their rights. While not forgetting you, my dear and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I beg to raise my case and thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, the captain. There was a judge. I was going to give all of you equal marks. I don't know who would win, because all of you are the best. However, let me take this time.